Recording. Take it away, Jenny.
Alrighty. Hey guys, we are joining you tonight to kind of recap what we learned at convention and to go over some of the big takeaways that we had. We just wrapped up a phone call with Lauren and Team Elite, and she shared some information with us, just kind of logistical stuff that I wanted to pass along to you before we actually get into the nitty-gritty of building your business and what we learned. So the first thing that we talked about were our new products. I cannot even tell you how excited we are about these two products. So we have Edge, which is our new energy, clean energy booster. It gives you the same amount of caffeine as a cup of coffee, but it's in natural form, so it's non-habit forming. And then we have fast-acting block, which is very different from the old block because you don't have to wait 30 minutes to eat anymore. You can literally pop them before you eat a carby or heavy meal. I wish I had these at lunch today. I had Mexican food at lunch, and I didn't have them in my purse. So I'm going to start carrying this around with me. I'm going to go over the Edge real quick, and then I'll go over a couple of changes from the old formula to the new formula for block, okay? So with the Edge, like I said, it's a clean energy. It's not a synthetic form of caffeine. Synthetic forms of caffeine will actually cause you to feel like you need them all the time. It causes that addictive behavior with caffeine. This will not do that for you. So this is going to give you clean, sustained energy throughout the day. It is natural and not habit forming. And there are three main ingredients in this formula that are not really found anywhere else. This is pretty specific to Plexus, which is why this product is so dang exciting. The first one is called theocrine. There's 125 milligrams of theocrine, and that is essentially from the kucha tea leaves. This is a green tea extract that increases your energy without jitters. It does not have addictive properties, and it helps you focus and sleep all at the same time, which is kind of crazy. Then there is L-theanine. L-theanine is very special to this product because it reduces bad effects of caffeine. So the jitters that you might have from a different caffeine-related product, you are not going to have in this product because of the L-theanine. The L-theanine is an amino acid, which is an essential nutrient that we have to have for brain and body function. It enhances your mood, it improves your learning, it gives you clarity, and I can tell you from personal experience taking this after our trip, after our return from Vegas, when I was like dead tired after 4 hours of sleep every night, that the brain fog was gone. And that is a huge, huge deal for a lot of people. I didn't feel jittery. I didn't feel like I was hopped up on an energy drink. And I'm kind of sensitive to that kind of stuff. I just felt clear. I could think, I could concentrate, and that was a big deal on 4 hours of sleep. So this is going to be a game changer for a lot of people. Let's see. The third ingredient is Coffea robusta. And Coffea robusta is basically just a coffee bean extract. And that is where the caffeine comes from. It's in natural form. It is not extracted. And then in other caffeine supplements, you'll have the caffeine is extracted, the water is taken out of it, it becomes a powdered synthetic form. That is not the case in this product. In this product, it is just the coffee extract. So you are getting the most natural form of caffeine and of energy possible. We have heard pretty amazing things about this product from our friends so far. Lots of things that are not compliant, so please don't share. But I do want to tell you that we are seeing friends that have attention deficit disorder that are taking Adderall or other meds to help combat that are having a lot of success with this product. They are taking them, though, about 4 hours apart. So you might take your ADD meds in the morning when you wake up, and then you would take Edge at lunch. The best time of day to take Edge is going to be somewhere between probably 10 a.m. and 4 p.m., depending on what you're doing with your day. If you are like me, where you get that slump at like 2, so from like 2 to 5 is kind of my slump time, I'm going to be taking this with my lunch, especially when I go back into the classroom. I literally cannot, well, I can wait to go back to the classroom for a couple of months, but I cannot wait to try this product out when I have my kiddos back in the classroom, because I think, you know, I still would have those little slumps with my products sometimes just from lack of sleep. And because I'm a night owl and I don't sleep enough. It's my problem. But I think this is going to be a game changer for that, because you will see that increase in energy. With block, let's go to that one. Get my notes here. All right. So block helps give you more control over your diet. It blocks up to 48% of carbs and sugars, just like the old formula does. Now, I will tell you that's when you're taking 2 pills, okay? That is something that I learned today. If you just take 1, it blocks half of that. So if you want the whole 48%, you need to take 2. With the fast acting, like I said earlier, you can take it right before your meal. You do not need to wait for 30 minutes. Hallelujah, we do not need to eat cold spaghetti anymore. And let's see, it has a quick release veggie capsule, which is a different capsule form. The other block did not have the same capsule. The capsules are smaller, which is really nice. If you took the old block, they were like horse pills, and they were kind of hard for some people to get down. And so these are I would say they're significantly smaller. They're really easy to swallow. They have added chromium into the new formula. Chromium is what Slim is based on. So that is going to be your blood sugar regulator, and that is going to just give you that little added boost of blood sugar regulation, especially if you've eaten a heavy meal, because we know that we spike after we do that. And then it has the same amount of the white kidney bean extract, but a reduced amount of that NC2, that brown seaweed extract, and that is going to reduce the iodine. This is really important for people that have thyroid issues. People that have thyroid issues now can be comfortable taking block, whereas before they were not. So again, you do want to space it out from your meds about 4 hours. So if you take thyroid meds in the morning, you're not going to take block with breakfast. You're going to wait until lunch to take it. I hope that makes sense. We are going to have we do already have downloadable flyers on the back office for Block and Edge. And I think we're going to talk about that a little bit later on, or maybe in a different video, but we are going to have new marketing materials for all of our products very soon, and they're very pretty and professional, which is excellent. So those are the 2 new products that we learned about at Convention. You can take Edge, by the way, with Booster Accelerator. It's not going to interfere with that at all, and it's not a replacement for it. Boost suppresses hunger, and if any of you have ever taken that, you know that firsthand. I literally had to remind myself to eat when I was taking Boost. But you can take Slim and Boost and then take Edge. You want to space out Edge from the Boost, but you can take them all together. Accelerator, it's going to be your fat burner and your mood regulator. It has that 5-HTP in it. Again, you can totally take it together. So for me, I take Slim and Accelerator in the morning now, and at lunch I'm going to take Edge. Yeah, so they all work together. It's excellent. All right, let me get back to my notes. I wanted to share just a little bit about what Lauren was talking about on her call so that we're all on the same page. We wanted to talk a little bit about Leaders Retreat. Leaders Retreat is coming up very shortly. It's going to be in October, at the end of October, and I believe the 27th through the 29th. I'm looking at it on my phone right now. But the contest for Leaders Retreat has started. It's backdated to June 1st. The contest is going to run June 1st through August 31st. So you have 3 whole months of gaining new customers and gaining new ambassadors and getting your PV up so that you can earn points. So Darla earned this last year, her very first year as an ambassador. And I think she would agree, and we'll talk to you a little bit later, that if she can do it, anybody can do it. You can do it without a lot of people under you. You can do it if you don't have a lot of customers right now. We're going to give you some skills and strategies to help build those things up to where they need to be. To qualify for Leaders Retreat, you need 750 points. To get your points, you're going to be adding ambassadors and customers. So for every new preferred customer or retail customer over $50 PV, you will get 10 points. For every new ambassador, you will get 10 points. And then you get points for your PV as well. From $200 to $499.99, you will earn 20 points. From $500 to $999.99, you will earn 75 credits. From $1,000 to right under $2,500, you're going to get 150 credits. And then $2,500 and up, you're going to earn 300 credits. So my advice is to gain as many customers as you can. Because friends, as the customers flip to ambassador over the next couple of months, you will not only get the credits for them as a customer the first month, but then you will get the credits for them as an ambassador when they flip to ambassador as well. You also want your PV to be high. This was how Darla made it, right? And she ran some contests on her page, and she did some things that we can work with you on, and she got those credits because her PV was very high. If you are somebody that is just basically purchasing your own products right now, and let's say you maybe have 200 PV, then your goal is to add customers to your team. You want that PV. That's where your income is coming from when you are starting your business. Even for me at Gold and for Darla at Gold, that is still where the majority of our income is coming from. We do get income from those points from ambassadors. However, we get more money based on that 25% commission if we're over $500 a month in our PV. So I would really advise adding those customers. And we're going to go through different types of activities with you in just a little while that will help make that a lot easier. Okay? And there's things that I'm going to be doing and that Darla and Ashlie and Ivah are all going to be doing as well. Basically, to qualify for a leaders retreat, you need 750 credits. 750 credits, that's 250 credits per month. That is so doable, y'all. That is 8 customers, 8 new customers. Let's say you don't have any right now. That could be 8 new customers. That would give you 80 points. Your PV at that point would be over 1,000, so that would give you that 150 points. And then if you added, let's say, 2 ambassadors on top of that, that's your 250 for the month. And then you can start flipping people. I'm going to post probably a little bit later this week some different ways you can get to Leaders Retreat using those points. So I'm not going to go over all of it right now. But just keep that in mind that that definitely needs to be a goal. Darla and I both went to Leaders Retreat last year. That was kind of a draw your line in the sand moment, and it was a big game changer. You see the success that other people are having. You see that they maybe are not as educated as you, or maybe, you know, didn't have the same types of jobs as you, and they are doing it. And that just gives me inspiration. And it, like, people that have 8 kids, I mean, come on, if somebody with 8 children can go to convention, go to Leaders Retreat, and earn all of that, then we can definitely all make it happen. We can make time in our day to do income producing activity, which Darla and Ivah are going to be talking about a little bit later on. So keep Leaders Retreat as a goal. I'm super, super excited about Leaders Retreat. It's going to be in the Grapevine area, which is up in the Dallas-Fort Worth area, at the Gaylord Hotel, which is a big resort and hotel. It's beautiful if you've never been there. It's a lot of fun. So that'll be great. Let's see. From Plexus, from corporate, they are also giving us incentives now for retaining and keeping customers. We are a product-led company, and we really are a company that treats our customers the right way. We offer our customers the biggest discounts possible without them having to become an ambassador. You know, they can still get 20% off after the 3rd month when they're a preferred customer, which is unheard of. You don't find that anywhere else in MLMs, guys. So we really are doing the right thing by our customers, and it's important to retain them. So, and to celebrate the people that do that, there's going to be something called Club 300 and then Club 500. Club 300 means that you're going to have 300 PV every month. You'll have 3 existing customers, and you'll add one additional new customer every month. Simple, right? Like, I think everybody can do that. Club 500 is going to be in a similar vein. It's 500 PV every month. You have to have 5 existing customers or more, and you're going to be adding 3 new customers every month. And really, I think all of us can do that too. Let's see. For Leaders Retreat, you will be honored if you have hit 300 or 500 club 2 out of the 3 months. So because this started in June, that means that June counts. And that if you are not kind of in that club right now, you need to kind of hustle through the end of the month, and we can help you get to meet your goals there. Long term, when we're looking at convention next year, you will have to hit, give me a thumbs up, was it 8 out of 10 months? Yeah, okay. 8 out of 10 months in order to be honored at convention. And when you get honored at convention, if you hit 8 out of 10 months for the 300 club, you get a leather padfolio for an iPad or tablet, and then you get a rustic cuff bracelet if you are in the 500 club. And they do have one for men as well, which is very nice of them because we do have a few ambassadors on our team. So yay. All right, so that's Club 300 and Club 500. Make sure that you are watching out for your emails from Plexus because there are going to be there's going to be lots of information coming out about these new incentives and different things coming out with Plexus in the next couple of months. If you do not have your email, this is really great information from Lauren. If you do not have your email, if you're not getting email from Plexus, you do need to log into your back office, go to account services, and then go to your personal info and make sure that your email is set up correctly in the back office. If it is not, then you can fix it there. And then go to your email provider. So for instance, if you're with Gmail, you want to make sure that you find Plexus Worldwide and star them, make them kind of like the VIP client for your email so that all of your emails are going into your inbox. I know several of us have had problems with it going to spam and not realizing that it was going to spam. Lauren even shared that her Emerald email for the time that they were going to be walking the stage was in her spam folder, and so she didn't see it. So those are things that all of us kind of need to do just to keep up with the company. At that point, if you're still having issues, definitely call customer service or get with your upline, and we will help you out with that. You can also, in the meantime, go to your back office and go to communications, and all of the emails that corporate has sent will be in your communications folder. So that's an easy way as well to keep up with what's going on with the company, which at this point, because we are going through so many changes and we have so many things going on with the Leaders Retreat contest, you're going to want to keep up with that. All right. I have one more thing that I wanted to go over before I let the girls take over and tell you all their tips and tricks. Y'all, we learned so much at convention, it's crazy. So from Lauren, there are going to be several contests going on over the next few months to help all of us meet our goals for convention. The first one is going to take place this month, and it's very similar to what we did last month with Team Elite, where you need to have your backup order on, and your backup order needs to be over 100 PV. You need to have 100 PV, and that needs to happen by June 24th, so the end of this week. And then if you do that, and if your team does that, everyone that does that will be entered into a drawing for $50. So easy peasy. Have your backup order turned on, over 100 PV for the month by June 24th, and then you get entered for $50. On July 5th, Darla and a couple of other leaders from the Team Elite page are going to be leading the Slim Block Challenge. It's going to be called the Summer Slim Block Party. And that's going to kick off July 5th, like I said. Your customers will need a 7-day trial of Slim, and they will need a bottle of the fast-acting block, and that will give you 55 PV. So that would count as a customer for Leaders Retreat contest, plus you get the credit for the PV for your own income. And then they get to actually try out the new block and slim and see how they like it. Now, here's the great thing about this. We do not have a slim block trial right now, which is why we're asking that they buy the whole bottle of fast-acting block and the slim. Block can be used separate from the rest of the Plexus products. You do not need to be using block with slim like you do accelerator or something along that line. So people that buy the whole bottle of block can continue using it even if they are not continuing to use slim or any of our other products. Now, if they don't like it for whatever reason, and that's not going to happen, but if they don't like it for some strange reason, they have that 60-day money-back guarantee there. So they're kind of covered that way. And I think that will be a real game changer for a lot of us, for people that have been on the fence. This is a real cost-effective way for people to try 2 of our different products together, right at a time during summer when everybody's in bathing suits and they want to feel better about themselves. So I really, I challenge you to try to get some friends involved in that. I'm definitely going to be marketing that to all of my fence sitters. I have a lot of them right now. And I think that will really get people up and running. And after the block party, that'll end on the 12th. And at that point, Lauren's going to announce an ambassador incentive. So for anybody that participated in the block party, they will be given an incentive to then join as a wholesale ambassador. She hasn't told us exactly what the incentive is, but usually when we run something like that, it ends up being like a reimbursement of welcome pack fees, that kind of thing. So that is going to be excellent. I'm super excited about all of those. I know Darla is running her own contest, her own customer appreciation contest right now. And I am also going to be running a couple of little pop-up contests during the summer to kind of get the ball rolling for all of us. I am super excited for where this team is headed, y'all. We are kind of small but mighty, and we have a lot of people who are, getting off the ground with their business right now, just getting started. And it's a really, really fun place to be because you're excited and people feel that excitement from you and they want in on what you're doing, okay? We are here for you all the time. Your upline is here, and I'm going to let Ivah, kind of, or Darla, you're doing it? Okay, Darla's going to take over. She's going to give you some of her takeaways from the gold session. Like I said, we learned so much that I don't think it's all going to be able to be communicated to you. But we're going to give you our big takeaways. And then over the coming weeks in Team Elite, we will tag you to their calls. It will be doing more in-depth training for the silver group, for the gold group, for the ruby group, and then for the gem group. So if you want more information, if we don't totally overwhelm you, we will tag you to those groups so that you can join in on those calls as well. All right, take it away, Darla.
Hi. All right, so there was a ton. Jenny is totally correct. There was a ton of information. And I'm going to apologize in advance for the noise you're hearing from the background. We might want Ashlie to go first. Do we want Ashlie to give us her tip first?
She can go first if you want.
Okay. She's still trying to go down.
Oh, poor baby. I can go first. No worries. Okay. Hey, y'all. So, convention was absolutely amazing. Overwhelming to be in the presence of 12,000 other ambassadors. What I'm going to be talking to you about is a challenge that our MC threw down to us while we were there. Our MC was Victor Antonio. And is that right? Victor Antonio? Okay, for some reason that didn't sound right. He is a motivational speaker about building businesses, and he also hosts a TV show on Spike TV called Life or Debt, where he, which I've been watching, it's really good, where he goes into families and he helps them transform how they manage their finances to get them out of debt. Anyway, so you should check him out on Spike. A little plug for Victor Antonio. Anyway, he gave us this challenge, and he's on the very first day said, each of the next 3 days, I want you to approach 3 people and get tips for building your business. And then he said, don't just get the tips, but you need to execute them in order to help grow your business. So what we did, we compiled all of our little tips that we got from people. And it was quite interesting. I know Ivah and I were together one night, and we just randomly walked up to people that we saw wearing their Plexus badges out at dinner at a completely different hotel and casino, and just struck up conversations with them. And it was quite enlightening. So one of the things that a gentleman, he was senior Ruby, I believe, told us was to go silver every month. So just once you make silver, don't take it as, all right, I'm there, I'm silver, but really set it as a goal to go silver every month to continue growing your team. Another girl that we met said that in-person meetings, whenever possible, are so important. So if you're hosting a sip and see, or even meeting someone for lunch, or even having that phone call, if you can't do face-to-face, is so much more impactful than just doing a text message or Facebook message. Even though we do those things a lot, if you can have the opportunity to meet in person, try that. Another tip was to work on mindset training, which I know Darla has posted some things. Well, I think in Going Silver, have we done that in Evolve? Mindset training?
I think Rainey did it in All In, and then I went over to Silver with it.
Silver, that's what I thought. So if you're in All In, you can go back and find the mindset training, but it's really good personal growth. Follow through with connecting with your perspectives. So if you meet with someone or chat with someone, make sure you follow up and check in on them. Also following up with your customers. I try and follow up with my customers at least once a week in the beginning, and also your personal use ambassadors. Making sure to check in on them as well. And reaching out to your downline. So as you have people join under your people, building relationships with them as well. Consistency with the products, be a product of the product. That sounds familiar. I feel like we've heard that quite a bit. I had the pleasure of sitting next to Ruby at our winner's dinner, and she said post on Facebook 1 to 2 times every single day. Which for me has always been, I don't want to. And so I'm trying to get better about doing that. But she told me, she joined a year ago in February, and she's already Ruby. So she was just saying that posting consistently was a game changer for her. And also another tip was just being productive on social media, that you're giving feedback to other people who are not Plexus people. Oh my gosh, sorry, my cats are like destroying stuff and my lights just went out. Okay, sorry. I'm gonna just talk in the dark. Y'all can still see me, right? So she was saying to post on people's posts that aren't even Facebook, like wishing them happy birthdays, liking their posts, commenting, to build that relationship. And also to quote Rita Davenport, she said, Facebook shouldn't turn into Wastebook. So making sure that you are being productive on social media. Another tip, be yourself. Your friends who know you, they trust you. Don't try and be someone that you're not. Personal growth, read books, watch YouTube videos to grow your knowledge. So I know Jenny and Darla and I made some back in like January-ish. And then there's also tons of diamond documentaries. If you just go Google those, y'all, they're so informative, and it's really makes you believe that it's possible for you too. Also watch YouTube videos to grow your knowledge, like Darla's been posting in Evolve this week. Be confident, build relationships, which I've alluded to already. Share with at least 2 new people a day, no matter what. So always reaching out to people. Just doing hard work and honesty. I think, Darla, you got that tip from our Uber driver. And then the last tip was just message them, what are you waiting for? So one of the big overall, I think, themes of the week that I took away was just getting over the fear of it. And so that struck me. Message them, what are you waiting for? Yeah, you might be scared. The worst they can say is no.
Can I just say, so first the Uber driver, Ivah, did that one. She's so cute. And then, so the chick we met another ambassador when we were going to get on the roller coaster. And I was telling her that I'm just trying to build relationships for a while with some of these people. And she's like, what are you waiting for? Somebody else is going to tell them about Plexus if you don't.
That's so true. That's so true. I was having a conversation with someone yesterday, and she goes, all of a sudden now my cousin's doing it and another friend is doing it. Whereas if I would have spoken up to them a year ago, they would be on my team right now instead of being on someone else's team.
I mean, there is a time and place for building that relationship. I mean, I had some people that I was totally disconnected from for a while, so I did need to do that. But I was waiting a little too long. I was in that comfort zone, and I needed to boot myself out of there.
There's that fine line. You want it to be authentic. You don't want to feel like you're puking Plexus on people, which I had the opportunity of hearing a few of those at convention as well. It's like, you can't just go up to a complete stranger and just start oozing Plexus on them. Like, I think there's that fine line of you have to have some kind of established relationship, but then you're right, you can get in that comfort zone of waiting too long. Yeah. So anyway, those are some of the tips that we gathered from complete strangers, which talk about pushing you out of your comfort zone. I thought it was a great challenge, and it was interesting to talk to people who had no ambassadors all the way up to what was that face for? Talking to people all the way up to, gosh, was it like, did we talk to a diamond? I feel like we talked to a diamond.
I think in the elevator, I think Joy shared me. I think she's Sapphire.
Sapphire, so almost diamond. Anyway, okay, so I'll pass it on to either Darla or Ivah. Y'all can go next.
Hey, Ashlie.
Yeah.
I'm going to interject for just a minute.
Okay.
Okay, so can you guys see my button?
Oh, yes.
Listen, I just want you to, so Darla got us these buttons, and they're freaking hilarious because we've been reading this book, You're a Badass, and so it's a badass button, but I would just like to encourage you to do this.
Feed fear a suck-it sandwich.
Feed fear a suck-it sandwich.
Yes.
Have no fear. I think that's all of our goals right now. It's just
for sure.
Who cares what people think? We love our product, so feed fear a suck-it sandwich. Be a badass.
Okay, take it away, whoever's next. I don't know. Sorry.
I think I'll have enough battery juice to go, and that way we can kind of keep it in the level of silver than gold. So I absolutely loved convention, and for anybody that hasn't gone, just take the leap of faith next time. But honestly, you have an opportunity to jump in at leadership retreats. I know you guys can do it. I know I'm striving for that too. So at the Ambassador Silver session is what I'm going to talk a little bit about. And like Ashlie talked about, it's be the product of the product. And again, don't be afraid. That's like a huge theme that we kept hearing the whole time. And one of those things that fear can really, really be an issue with is with our knowledge, especially with those of us getting started and really kind of introducing ourselves to the products and really trying to get to know the company. They developed an awesome starter kit for us to be able to not be afraid and to be able to use the tools that are given to us. Carry those information cards with you. One of the tips that we got is they're small enough to stick in your purse, stick in your backpack, keep in your car, wherever you're going, because you have cards to read off of. People don't expect you to know every little detail. They want to know that you have the tools and the resources and you're giving them information that's credible. So be sure that you are carrying those cards around, especially if you are afraid. And one of the big things too that was a percentage takeaway, I like hearing percentages. Of the people you're talking to, 20% of those will say, yeah, no, you know what, I'm good, thanks. But remember that it's not you. They're just not ready. They're just not ready for it. Give them some time. The other 20% will say, I'm totally in. I want this now. Why haven't you told me about it before? And we want those 20%, right? We're hoping that we get that jackpot, and that's 20% we find. But there's that 60% that's like, maybe, maybe not, give me some time to look it over. But that's one of the places where we have to keep following up. we want to keep following up with that 60% because we want them to switch to the now, I want it, not the never mind, it's not for me, it's not something that I want to be a part of. So again, persistency, being persistent and being consistent with your follow-ups is huge because there is that 60% of the people that we are touching that really need an extra little for a little bit more information. So some of the ways that they talked about are just simply, like Darla said, connecting with the relationship and making sure they know that you are a Plexus ambassador and you absolutely love your products. So just checking in, saying, hey, I really love the benefits of the products. Let's go grab a coffee or let's grab a tea or something, and just kind of chatting over it, just kind of making that relationship, but also bringing in the business side of things. And then even touching and complimenting. So, you're so energetic. I feel like we can have so much more energy. And I've actually had so much more energy since using Plexus. And so giving them that, you're great, here's opportunities to be even better, to be able to help with your journey and your health goals. One of the big things that stuck out to me too is to be an active listener. We often want to just spit fire, just give information and vomit Plexus all over everybody. But one of the big things is to actively listen. What are their issues? One of the big things that we've learned, or I've been learning and kind of working on, is hearing what their wellness goals are. So is it because they need more energy? Is it because they're having slumps throughout the day? Is it because they don't have regular bowel movement? Trying to figure out what is their actual goal and not just saying, oh, you need this. Oh, you need all of these products. Really listening and trying to figure out what are their key issues, and sometimes helping them prioritize too, because we don't have a big budget. Some of us don't have that, and so being able to prioritize what are our number one concerns and what are the places that I need to get started. So again, using your cards and being an active listener are absolutely huge, with kind of connecting with people that are on that 60% line. So again, you don't have to memorize everything. You have the information with you. Just use it and don't be afraid to use it. Let's see. One of the big things I talked about too, especially for those of us kind of getting started, is to make sure you do have your elevator speech and to have your template. And we talk a lot about the template and the groups as, where was I before Plexus, and describe it, but include a lot of objectives too, because it's kind of what people are listening to. They want to hear the descriptive words and your adjectives. They want to make sure that they're hearing that. That's what people connect to more. And then what was I missing out on? Before Plexus, what did I want to do that I couldn't? And now what am I doing? How am I able to accomplish that? Or how am I getting things done that I wasn't able to before because I hadn't found Plexus? So looking at it in that way and making sure you kind of have that set up template for you. You want to keep it all creative too, in a way as broad as you can and away from medical claims, just so that you can be creative in giving information, but steering clear with what the product is for, not making all these different types of claims. One of the big things I wrote down, like all over my notes, is you can do it. Don't feel like you can't. Just you can do it everywhere! Exclamation! 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 Because you can. We all can. We joined this and we believe in it, and so just believe that you can do it. So you always want to listen more than you're talking. So I'm totally not doing that right now, but the very first thing, again, is just ask your questions, share the benefits, answer their questions, and close. If some of you have read that GoPro book, it talks about that. Kind of set up your areas, close, follow up. And keep consistent with setting up those follow-ups, making sure you are coming to a close, not just leaving it open-ended. You want to be authentic, and you want to have integrity and be respectful. And you want to be trustworthy. One of the things we talked about earlier is honesty. They want to trust you. And the reason they are looking at the product even in the first place is because they trust you. And if you are a product of the product, you are enjoying the product, you're seeing results, that's what they're listening to. They're buying into you, not the product. Initially, it's all about that connection and the trust that you have with that individual. And the big thing too is just ask anybody, get that no, get the yes, whatever it is, just keep seeking. I know in other times, not necessarily in this training at the convention, but a lot of times you're looking for the no. Like, just keep looking for the no until you actually get that yes. And you're going to find often that it becomes more of a yes than a no, because you believe in the product, and that's going to make them want to believe in it too. And then a big thing too is to be able to find their why. Why are they even slightly interested? And that goes back again to being that active listener. Going through my notes, so give me 1 minute. Let's see. Ashlie touched a little bit, and I think actually Jenny did too, about the personal development. You don't want to sit at a standstill. Even if you're not growing, you're not adding team members or not adding customers, you can still build by building yourself. And so that could be with the resources, with books, with just keep watching and reviewing testimonies, listening to team calls, chiming in on Zoom, just any way that you can to work on your personal development, because that's going to give you more of that confidence to be able to continue sharing and to keep moving forward. And if you ever do end up in a slump where you're like, it's not going my way, reach out to the team, because that support is what's going to help with that personal and professional development. Seek out to your sponsor, your upline, and make sure that you're looking at even the corporate calls and the corporate leadership information. Let's see. One of the big things too, and I took this personally, and I'm not supposed to, but never take a no personally. So with that 20% that's going to be immediate no, don't take it personal. It's never about you. You can address their concerns or what are their issues. But again, you're not trying to sell something. You're trying to build that relationship. And so if it's a no, it's fine. Just keep building on the relationship, because you never know if that no could turn into that yes. Let's see. Relate with them, because they might say, oh, I can't. It's, I'm going to have to think about it. And yeah, I know I had to think about it too. And I had to do some research on my own, and give them that. Really relate to them, because honestly, if you think back to it, we had some of those questions when we were kind of introduced to the product. I'm sure, I know I did. I just don't know if this is going to work. I could never speak in front of people, and look where I am now. And so really relating is I know how you feel. I was there, and look at me now. Look how great I'm doing, or look at the things that I'm able to share and the things that I'm able to do. I won't touch too much on social media. I know that Ashlie did talk a lot about that. Let's see. You want to promote yourself, and you this goes to the social media, as I chuckle because it's kind of funny. We're a generation of creepers, which is totally true. People are on social media creeping, and so even if they're not liking your posts or they're not commenting, they saw it. They did, and they're eventually going to reach out to you. I actually had one yesterday send me a message, and I'm like, I didn't even know they were watching my posts. But they're creepers. We all do it. I know I creep. I'm like, how could I comment here? That's just our generation. And so take advantage of that. Make sure that's why you want to post. One of the things I talked about in the silver session was a 10-4-1 rule on social media. And it's 10 not related to Plexus. You want to post 10 comments or things about your personal life, things that are going on, maybe encouraging posts or just some type of motivational pictures or things like that. And then 4 would be anything indirectly related to Plexus. So you don't always have to actually say Plexus, but man, I had such a great day today. I had so much energy. And not really specifically talking about Plexus, but in a way you kind of are. And then 1 is directly Plexus related. So an informational about this is what Block does for you, or this is, more of the general education information. And that was a 10-4-1. And that's the first time I had heard of a 10-4-1, because we want to post everything, but that was kind of a good way of introducing to you to make sure that you are consistently posting, but it doesn't always have to be Plexus Vomit. So that was a good thing that I liked. So rules. So for those of us that were at convention, we kind of posted a lot or got tagged a lot. And one of the big things when you are in a convention or a leadership or a different type of training, you want people to know about it and how excited you are. So forget about the 10-4-1 rule. That doesn't count. So if you look at our pages, we didn't follow it, and that's okay. It's acceptable. Let's see. So again, just posting like motivational quotes, kind of keeping people engaged in watching you and following you, because the more motivation that you put out on Facebook, the more people are going to want to watch you. We want to keep the negativity and the negative comments, negative posts out, because that would keep people from wanting to follow us. It puts them in a slump, and we're not here for that. We want to make sure that we're encouraging everybody to be better.
One thing that you can do also to engage your audience but not make it one of those plexus posts is do a survey of some sort. Make it personal to you. Like one time I was trying to figure out whether or not to put my utensils on the counter or in a drawer, and I just put that out there on Facebook, and I got like 50 responses, and that keeps people that they're coming to your post and posting on that, so then your posts start showing up in their feed more too when they're interacting on your posts. So surveys is a good way to get that going too.
Mm-hmm. So I've kind of come to the end of my information. I'm like rambling because I'm just excited about all this information. But the big thing that I want to leave you with is to believe, because that's super powerful. And so to believe in the product, believe in yourself, believe in the company, believe in the compensation plan. But the big one is really to believe in yourself and just go for it. When people would ask me, what's a tip? It was, don't be afraid, because I need that too. So tell yourself, talk to yourself, because it is possible. And if you have that belief, then you can do anything. And we're all here to support. I know I'm just getting started, but I will try and help in any way that I can. If anything, at least to kind of build your spirits up. So I think I'm passing it on to Darla.
That was awesome. I'm not sure how I'm going to follow that. You did a really good job. And I am going to probably just go a little bit deeper on some things, because I think you skimmed the silver stuff was kind of mixed. Like there's some of the same avenues or whatnot. So I'm going to kind of go in and a little bit deeper on some of that. They started off with talking to us about the quick start guide, and how it's really all we need to get started as ambassadors. And they went into grouping it into 3 categories, but I think we're going to save that for another time. And with one of either Lauren's week Zoom calls, or we can go into it deeper at another point too. And I'm also always happy to meet with whoever we all are and break it down for everyone, and help you with your new team members, and to get started, and to send that initial email with all the resources. One of the things that they were talking about, we're talking about building our businesses tonight. And one of the big focuses is getting those first 3 ambassadors and those first 3 customers, and then repeat. Wash, rinse, repeat. You want to get those 3 customers to get your PV up, and you want to get those 3 ambassadors to get to silver, and then you want to try to do that every month. Starting with a customer focus is smart, just like Ivah was talking about, because we start with the products. In order to grow our businesses, that personal growth piece that everyone has mentioned tonight is huge, guys. And I'm not going to let it go myself, because I'm a huge proponent. Someone just asked me, I was on the phone with a sideline team, ambassador, I think it was last night, and she was asking me how I recently promoted. And I was like, well, I think it really all started when I started growing myself professionally and personally, and really just focusing on my growth, and it just kind of took off from there. And one of the things is setting goals. So having SMART goals, specific goals, measurable goals, attainable goals, realistic goals. Realistic goals are standard setters. So realistic goals should not be confused with standard setters, like the ones that some people can achieve, like Fast Start Gold, for example. Some people's journeys are different than others, so we can't forget to show them that there are people that are getting to Fast Start Gold, so that if that's their goal, then we should stand behind them, and it is a realistic goal. It can happen. Now, will they make Emerald next week? Probably not. So that's more of an unrealistic goal. So just make sure that we are setting attainable, realistic goals. We can put a time frame. They're time bound. We can put a time frame on our goals. And we need to write them down. We have visual reminders, set them up, setting ourselves up with an accountability partner, chat groups, IPA groups. But we have decided that for our team group, we want to do our IPA. IPA stands for Income Producing Activity. And we want to have those IPA challenges on our main team page, so that we can all help each other and motivate each other on our main team page. And I want to talk a little more about that in just a second. But one thing that really stood out to me in this session was when they said successful people do consistently what other people only do occasionally. We have to stay disciplined in order to reach our goals. We can talk till we're blue in the face about what we're going to do, but if we don't do it, it's on us. And here's a big thing, because I'm a person who, Jenny and I have talked about this. I think we all talked about it at convention. I set really big goals for myself, but that's okay for me, because if I don't get it, I'm like, okay, I'll just set another goal. And then some people like to set more realistic goal. Well, what's realistic to them? So if you don't get a goal, if you miss a goal, it's okay. What you do is you just review what's happening, review your action, adjust, and keep going. But what's important is that we don't, when we're reviewing, oh, I didn't get to that goal. Okay, well, we're not going to adjust our activity. We're not going to bring our activity down to meet a more realistic goal. We're going to bring our activity up to try to achieve that goal, the next goal we set for ourselves. So one of the things that we talk about is making our Franks list, making that list of people. And I think that's key for our IPA, our income producing activities, or our DMO. These are acronyms that y'all are going to hear a lot of throughout your business journey. DMO is daily method of operation. So in order to have a base foundation for your DMO, you need to make your list of people to contact. If you don't have that list, you're kind of just out in the wind, fluttering around, and you don't have any direction. And I know this because I have made my list. I've written my list down in a notebook, and I've written it on an Excel sheet. And there are days when I need to do my IPA, and I don't have those lists in front of me, and I'm like, I don't know who I was going to talk to today. And I just kind of like just flutter. And I need my list. So I've printed it out, so I have it in my purse. So if I'm at the gas station or if I'm at the grocery store and I have 10 minutes where I can message some people, I'm just going to whip my little list out, because I'm a paper person. I have to be able to touch it. It could be in my phone just as easily, I know. But just whatever works for you, you have to have something to go off of. And what one thing they said is you have to talk to a lot of people. In order, the number is just numbers. You have to get to those no's so you can get to those yeses, just like Ivah was talking about. And if you're not pushing for those no's, if you're scared that you're going to get a no, and this is real for all of us. This is not an easy thing for any of us to do, I don't think. I just messaged a lot of people yesterday, and halfway through my list, I sent the message I was doing to Jenny and Ivah and said, please listen to this, because I'm scared it's not right. Because after you say something so many times, it feels like it sounds stupid. But they were like, no, it sounds great. Keep going. I was like, okay. So I fed fear a suck-it sandwich, and I kept going. And that's what we have to do. You have to talk to a lot of people. All right, let's see here. If you are just starting out, so you have your warm market, you've talked to people that you know really well. If you're like me, you've already talked to those people. Aww, look how cute. If you're like me, you've talked to those people already, and you may have even gone through your whole list. I know some of you have told me, like, oh, I'm going through, sorry, my back light went off. I'm going through my list, and I'm at a standstill. Okay, well, they told us at convention that should never happen. He is so cute. Sorry, I'm being distracted by a kitty. What was I saying? Let's see. Oh, you should never recycle. You should never be at a standstill. If you go through your list and you're contacting people every day, and we're going to talk about how to do that, you don't just stop there. That's one thing I did, and I just like, well, I've messaged them before and they never responded, so I guess I'm done. No. If they didn't respond, that's an open invitation to message them again. They didn't say no. So at least but I think they said once a month, go through, and if they haven't messaged you back, you message them again. There's that sneaky little, not sneaky, that awesome little voice messenger on Facebook now. One of the diamonds in our gold group said that curiosity kills the cat. So they see that they may have already seen a message from you before, but they see that little voice message and they're like, I really want to know what she said. And they might ignore it for a little bit, but then they're like, no, I really want to know what she said. So they're going to click play and they're going to listen to it. And they're going to love it because you're going to be excited, and they're going to hear the excitement in your voice, and they're going to want some of what you have. So don't be afraid. Just like Ivah said. So I think on that note, I'm going to talk about 531. 531 is that income producing activity that I told you I was going to talk to you about. You message 5 new people a day. And if you're one of those people that have already gone through your whole list, start recycling back through and do 5 messages a day. You're going to follow up with 3 people. It could be someone like yesterday. I had someone like, oh, I'm going on right now, an old customer. She's like, I'm going on right now and I'm ordering the edge. Well, I know her from previous times, and I know that she's someone that needs some encouraging and follow up with her. So today I followed up with her. I said, hey, did it go smoothly for you to order? She's like, oh no, girl, I'm going to do that right now. So you're always going to have people you can follow up with. And that doesn't mean like follow up with the person you just followed up with 2 days ago necessarily, but you can be following up with someone who you talked to last month, or someone who said, or you sent a video to and you said, I'll call you again in a week and see what you thought about it. Or just, it can be anybody as long as you're following up with people, because fortune is in the follow-up. And training one person. So training someone on your team. If you don't have anybody on your team yet, you are your team. You are the person that you need to be training. So you need to be doing something daily to grow yourself, whether it's watching a 10-minute YouTube video, whether it's listening to a book, 1 chapter of a book, or reading 15 pages in a book, something to grow yourself. Because one thing that Eric Worre says in GoPro, and I've heard it other places too, is that you're not going to grow your business. Like his business took off when he first joined network marketing, and it was like craziness. He was making a lot of money. And then all of a sudden it was like screeching hot, and he realized that he didn't know enough for him to be pulling in that kind of money every month. He couldn't sustain it from the knowledge that he had about his business. So as soon as he started growing himself to become a professional in his business, he started making the money that matched his knowledge. So your business isn't going to sustain what you're making. Help me. Your business isn't going to sustain. Help me, Jenny. I know.
If you don't grow yourself, your business isn't going to grow.
Right. So it's not going to go past what you know.
Right.
Sustainably.
Exactly. And I posted a video, you guys, I posted 2 videos actually this past week from Jessica Huffley, who was my absolute favorite speaker at convention. And she wasn't even like a speaker. She was just a diamond that got elected to come up and say a few words. And she talked about, she went very fast. She went diamond in 11 months, I believe. And that is not the average by any means. Everybody's on their own timeline. But she was talking about how much she grew herself in the years preceding her turning diamond, her joining the company and then going diamond as quickly as she did. And she specifically spoke to that if she had not taken the time to grow herself as a person and as a professional, that there's no way she would have been able to sustain the business that she did. So I think we will probably be discussing as team leaders, maybe a book study or something that we can work on over the next, through the end of the year, maybe even, on how to grow ourselves, because it is a personal growth issue. It's not just business. You have to grow yourself as an individual.
Yeah, I agree. And I think like last year when I hit that incredibly high PV we were talking about earlier, and I did make it to Leaders Retreat, and I got all these customers, and I was like, whoa, like I didn't grow as far as like promoting higher, but for a minute there I got this surge in commission. And when I read that part, I was like, that's so true, because I had all these customers, but I hadn't grown myself. I didn't really know yet what to do with those customers and how to make them happy ambassadors at that point. But now I feel like if that happened again, I'd be armed and ready to go, So yeah, and I do think that we were also talking about providing y'all with some examples. If you need examples of messages to send out, I know Ivah, I've already talked to Ivah about it, and I gave her some different samples, and there's also samples in the files of All In and Team Elite, I believe, of different kinds of messages you can send out to people that when you're doing your 531. When you're sending out those messages to 5 new people every day, there's a bunch of different examples of how you can do it. And my recommendation is to make it your own. Last year, I just took some different ones from different people, copied and pasted, and added in like my name and stuff, and they didn't work for me. I had to revise it and make it sound just like you were saying, make it personal, make it from you, or they're going to see right through it. They're going to be like, oh, this is just a random message she's sending out to everyone. And it's been done to me before, and I don't know why I let myself do it, but I learned the hard way. And once you personalize, you take a look at a bunch of them. There's no one easy way to do it. You're going to have to do your research for your own personal message, get a few of them together, pick out what you like, make it your own, and start messaging. One thing I'm going to do for Leaders Retreat, because this is something I noticed last year, and y'all, let me just say I did not really start the contest until the end of June or early July. And so I feel like that if I can do it, like Jenny was saying, literally, if we can do it, y'all can do it. Like, seriously. So just know that what we're telling y'all is coming from our hearts, and it is achievable. It is attainable. You just have to work for it. I would not have gone had I not been messaging people every day and following up with people. At the end of August, I did a huge push and followed up with everybody or anybody that had expressed any interest, had tried a sample over the last several months or anything. And it was huge just to message people every day. I had somewhere I was going with that. Front loading. So I am going to be upping the five a day, which means I'll also be following up with more a day. But before the end of June, my goal is to make it through my whole list. So that's 250-ish people. And that doesn't have to be everybody, but I told y'all I was going to tell you my strategy. And then you can take that and the 531 and make your own strategy. But what I've noticed is if that funnel isn't full, like, you know, you have your funnel and you have your business down here, and if you're not constantly pouring into that funnel, it's gonna, just imagine a couple holes in the bottom. It's gonna keep leaking out. If you don't keep it full, you're not gonna keep getting new people. And for Leaders Retreat, what I've noticed a lot of times is, not just Leaders Retreat, in your business, you have to plant seeds. And you're going, sorry, my backlight went out. When you're planting seeds, you may not be able to reap the harvest for another month or two. So we have 3 months-ish till Leaders Retreat, 3.5 months for the contest. If you're not planting those seeds, if you haven't been planting those seeds, you might want to front load it a little bit, because you're going to start reaping that crop in a couple months. But if we take it real slow right now, like if I only do 3 people a day, or if I only do 2 people a day, and my goal is Leaders Retreat, I might not for my personal self make those goals. So that's something you're going to have to think about. If you want it bad enough, you might have to step it up a little bit and front load it. That's just my personal advice. I don't know. Jenny, do you want to say anything about that?
I'm going back. I have to be really honest. I'm starting from scratch again. I'm going to be creating my Frank's list this week and going through and really being deliberate about my 5-3-1. I really lost momentum during the school year. It was really hard to balance sometimes when you have a full-time job outside of Plexus. Darla is an amazing multitasker, and she's one of the people that I look up to for strategies and things. Even though, I mean, we all work together. There is no leader really on this team. We're all learning and growing together, and what one person has as strength, another person needs to grow themselves in, and that is definitely, the follow-up is really hard for me, you guys. It's uncomfortable, and getting out of that comfort zone is my goal for myself this summer, and just really kind of throwing caution to the wind. And I don't care. Like, this is something that everybody needs. Everybody from this.
Yeah, Jenny, feed Farrah a suck it sandwich.
Yes.
I am a badass.
And remember that it takes an average of 8 contacts to get a yes.
Exactly. And that's the repetition thing. Even as a teacher, it's something that we are taught in school, and as we go on with our professional development. Kids, adults, they need that repetition. They have to hear something up to 10 times in order for it to really sink in. And if you don't follow up with them on a regular basis, and this is something that I personally have found, you end up losing them to somebody else, because somebody else will follow up with them regularly. And so what I have just started doing in the last month or two is that I am following up with people on a weekly basis until they tell me stop. Like, basically, they say stop stalking me, and I'm like, cool, okay. I guess I've reached the creeper limit with you. But you know, it's, if they're not telling you to stop, and I even, like, my cousin is a great example. She's somebody that I've been working with for, I don't know, like a year to try to get her to flip to ambassador. She's been taking the products for a long time, and she would be a fantastic ambassador. And I followed up with her a lot, and I finally said, Becky, like, for real, if you want me to stop talking to you about this, just let me know. I don't want to bother you. And she was like, no, I love that you're continuing to follow up with me, because it reminds me, people get busy. And I totally, like, I know I'm busy-ish. Like, I don't have kids. I really don't have excuses that other people have. But people, you know, other people do. And they get really busy, and they just plain forget. And so if you're there, kind of that little gnat in their ear going, hey, you know, have you thought any more about this? Do you have any questions? I really think this would be great for you. I think the reward that we're going to reap from being fearless in that is going to be huge.
And I think one thing that I heard that makes so much sense is that this is our business, or our part-time business, or whatever it is to us. We're trying, it's at the forefront of our head, of our brain. Like, this is what we're thinking about every single day. It's like the last thing they're thinking about, most likely. And so if we don't remind them, they're probably going to forget, like you said. And another, Christy Hull, she is what, Emerald? Sapphire? She had to be followed up with for 6 months by her friend. Every month she would say, hey, Christy, you gonna do this with me? Let's do this together. And she's like, whatever. And then finally, after 6 months. So here's another quote. You have to do what others, oh, now I see what y'all are laughing at. You have to do what others are willing to do. No, I'm sorry. You have to do what others are not willing to do. You will move up if you do what others are not willing to do. A good way to follow up, since we're on that note, is I'm going to follow up with you on, what's today, the 21st? So I could tell my girl that I was talking to just now, okay, I'm going to follow up with you on the 23rd. If I don't hear from you, I'll check back in. And so it's just kind of giving them a date, and they're probably not going to say no, like just giving them a date and telling them I'm going to follow up with you, and then following through. Be sure to follow through when you say you're going to.
Darla, you also had a really great email that you were sending people just I think probably 6 months ago before convention about like asking them, if I send you this information, how long will it take? Like how long in order for me to follow up with you? And
that's an Eric Worre. Oh, I'm sorry. That's an Eric Worre thing. Say if I send you a sample, what? Oh. If for some reason I don't hear the noise. If I send you a sample and some information, would you look at it? And then they say yes. It's just about getting yeses from them. And you say, how much time do you feel like you need to look over it? And then I can follow up with you and then get a date. So kind of like that, kind of like this thing. So building belief is important. Belief doesn't come from success. Success comes from belief. So to tag on what Ivah said about believing in yourself and having a belief in these products, y'all, when I sit back and think about what these products have done for my life, I don't know. It just makes me extremely emotional. And sometimes I forget, like I give my testimony so many times that I forget how much this has changed our lives. Every single one of us and our friends and family need this. So we cannot be selfish and keep this from them. So just believe in yourself. And sometimes I honestly feel like it's not really true. Like sometimes I feel like it's too good to be true. Like, is this really happening? Am I really going another month without pain? And I think sometimes I just get so wrapped up in it that I forget how much it has changed our lives and how much it can do for other people. And if we can remind ourselves that and hold on to that, we're going to change some lives, guys, for real. So, sorry.
Darla, thanks for tugging at emotion. That was actually one thing I didn't touch on. One of the things that we talked about in the testimony side is tug at the emotion. It's emotional. We have a passion for it. Do it. You saw it. It made me tear up. I'm sure that it made everybody else do that too. But it's because it's real. And again, going back to that honesty and that trustworthiness. It's not. We're not just trying to give information. We really feel that it helps. So it's helping. So that's something big that they talked about was tugging at that emotion and making sure that you're making that connection with those people that you're talking with.
And that's what goes back, sorry, it's like all stacks on top. That's what goes back to talking to people in person and on the phone, because that emotion and that passion and that people love comes through more so than in a typed text or a written message on Facebook. So that's all.
Agreed. I love it. So we have tons of resources for y'all. We want y'all to stay connected. We could go on pretty much all night with all of the stuff that they gave us, and we're going to somehow go into it deeper, whether it's on Lauren's calls or if we need to do another one to go in deeper, we'll do that. But guys, we're here for y'all. Stay connected. Get join us for our next Zoom call. Join in on Lauren's Zoom calls. I think the biggest part of our growth has been just staying connected to each other and leaning on each other and growing as a team and just being there for each other. I hope that y'all can come to our happy hour. When is that, Jenny?
Our happy hour is, well, we're going to put a poll. I'm going to post a poll about the happy hour to kind of give you guys a few different options for dates. But that'll be at my house. I'm super excited to have you over and get to know everybody a little bit more, because I feel a little disconnected sometimes with some of our folks that are a little bit further out of town or like down south in Austin. And for those of you that can't fly into Austin, we would love to FaceTime with you, or we can Skype, we can do Zoom, whatever means works best for you. But that face-to-face time it's so important. It's so, so important. I know Darla and I didn't really start growing. I didn't really start taking the business seriously until Darla joined my team. And she was taking it more seriously. And we were able to grow together. And then Ashlie joined, and the three of us started talking a lot more about strategies and how we wanted to grow ourselves in our business. And then we all started growing. And now Ivah's kind of joined, and she's also a business builder. And it kind of snowballs from there. The more time that we get together, the more brain power that we can put together. We are a force to be reckoned with, much more so as a group than as one individual person. So we are here for you guys. We want to help you do goal setting, help you get your Frank's list. If you are starting fresh like I am again, please contact me. Even if you're not my level one, I don't care. Just contact me. Let's get together. Let's put together those lists and get those goals down on paper in a place that you can see them daily, or on your mirror, which is what Darla does.
You see it back there?
Yep. But we really want you to meet your goals, whatever they are, whether it's just to earn enough to cover your products for the month, or if it's Leaders Retreat, or bigger. We're here for you. And I don't know, I guess it's time to wrap this puppy up. We've been on here for over an hour. We all love to talk.
Yeah, so just get with us about your goals and your business building questions.
And we will see you guys soon.
Bye.
I'm going to stop recording now.